Hello, children of the night, and welcome to Tarot Nights with the Hidden Empress. Here we do shadow work following the moon, and we are moving through our Taurus moon energy, waning, climbing, building, growing, overcoming obstacles. We had to get that energy just right, didn't we? We had to incorporate just every little bit and piece had to happen exactly the way it happened in order to create this particular structure and flow for whatever it is that we're doing. How much of this is gonna not go back in? Can I make you go back in? I can make you go back in. Alright. You. Stick on that. Seven of Wands. Cover of night. We're getting tired. We're getting a little weary, aren't we? Holding up this guard. Beating back the opposition. The relentless attacks. It was fun for a while. I feel like we really had a groove going. Like, what I have in my mind is the scene in Shaun of the Dead when they are all surrounded by zombies in the tavern and Queen's Don't Stop Me Now is playing. Just beating zombies left and right with pool cues and overcoming the obstacles, fighting back the opposition, holding our ground even when we're tired. There's almost a comfortability in the night, though. Yeah. I feel like if I can get you that clear image, the starry night, all those stars out in the sky, I feel like those stars, our relationship and understanding of the stars is what's going to give us that extra strength that we need, that extra push, that extra pull, that extra gusto that Taurus has going for us. That's going to energize us where the enemies, they're on the ropes, they're getting tired too. We've been at this for how long? How long have we been at this? All of these little combats that we have staged across our lives. How long have we been doing this? Seriously. They're all just as tired as you are. But letting those stars guide us and give us that extra power to overcome, that's what's going to bring us in. I've been in this corset for a while now. We have been running around. I'm no longer staining. I can feel myself pushing on, like leaning up against the steel bones. Can't let the corset do the work, kids. It's all you. It's just there to give you awareness. And if you rest on it, it's going to tire you out more. It's going to cause that shortness of breath to get shorter. Whereas if you just maintain your strength, hold your position, steady your breath, patience. It's the training. All of that training that you put yourself through. But what do I do? Where? Another 7. Pair of axes. What do I do? We are swinging, swiping, and chopping away, looking for water, swinging in the air. What? What, folks? Did we not just go over this? Did we not just cover this? We were digging in the ground, now we're swinging in the air. sense that. We are, though. We are looking for that extra energy. Like, what do you mean look to the stars? Where's this help that you say there is? Where is this energy that you say there is? The stars are a bigger representation of what we have going on inside of us. It's our anatomy being projected on a bigger screen. So using those awarenesses, figuring out where we are resting and tiring ourselves out more, and figuring out where to reach and grab for those cups. Like, I can kind of see the city in the distance, in the fog. We've wandered so far away from town, from civilization and resource, because what was there wasn't fulfilling. We had to journey out. We had to journey in. We had to fight back enemies. And now we have to figure out, blindly, where our true resource is, where our true resource lies. Where does it come from? She said the stars, so I must have to look up into the sky. As the hermit shows his face. Lovers. Cross the board. Opposite side. Out there is a bright sunshine. There is a union in fire and earth. There's that happy energy. It was in you. Didn't you know? It's in you. And unifying your dark and your light. It's in bringing together your masculine and feminine and being that angel that looks out for them and letting them be the angel that looks out for you. Formulating and building that relationship within yourself. Figure out how to get along with you, and you'll figure out how to get along with people. And also, there's nothing wrong with turning down a cup or two. Especially if it doesn't serve, especially if it's not a good reserve. Someone's got a cup on reserve. And they put a cup on the shelf, and they're like, I'm gonna save this one and drink it later. But is it an open cup or is it a cask? I'm looking at this wine cellar now. Did you leave your open cup out in the wine cellar? Because if you left it open, you're going to have vinegar when you come back. And maybe you want vinegar. Maybe you want to use vinegar. Vinegar is good. Vinegar cleans. Vinegar does a lot of good things. It's also very necessitary. It's very necessary for the winemaking process, but you don't want too much vinegar. It's a balance of that fermentation. It's a process that we have to carefully apply, and it requires attention. You can't just stuff down there and forget about it. But, moving on. Is it an open cup that you've left down there to prepare to make wine in the future? Or is this something that you stuffed into a cask and sealed so that it could age and mature and be more enjoyable later? It's all about your intentions. It's all about your plans. It's all about your goals. I'm looking at these cards and I'm like, how are we standing in a wine cellar right now? But I'm standing in a wine cellar right now. And there's like, yeah, there's like the oaky smell of all of these casks sitting around, and you can smell the fermentation, and everything in it, the good and the bad, it all has a purpose. Like I said, that vinegar is usable. If you're making vinegar, it's not worthless. It has a lot of value. I can come up with a million different things to use vinegar for. It's great. It's really good for you, actually. It's very good for you. Did you know that vinegar is anti-inflammatory? Get into it, kids. Yeah, are we making wine or are we making vinegar? What's our point? What's our purpose? And are we using it wisely? Or are we making vinegar and thinking that we're going to get wine? Don't be stupid. Right, though? I can't even. 3 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles, and the 9 of Swords. Did we make ourselves some vinegar trying to make wine and you forgot to seal it? Why did I just hear sealed with a kiss? You forgot to seal it? You needed to seal it with a kiss. No, it was necessary. That was how you were supposed to close that out in order to make wine and let it mature and grow. That's why we got these sour grapes here. That's why we done made vinegar. We were like, oh yeah, it's so great. It's gonna be so good. And then we came back and we're like, what? This isn't wine. Ah! Ah! I didn't want this. I didn't want this. No, wait. Stop. Calm down. You can use vinegar too. Vinegar is good. You need a little bit of that fermentation in order to make wine. Maybe that open cup, that open sore, that open wound, ouch, weird. Okay, maybe that open cup, open sore, open wound that we left hanging out in the wine cellar that turned into this disappointing vinegar, maybe that was the missing ingredient that we needed in order to make wine. It was the very beginning. It was the prologue. It was the prologue. That cup of that wine was never going to be your satisfying drink. That one singular cup that you had, that you left open, that turned sour, that turned into vinegar. Now we can use this vinegar in a larger cask and seal it with a kiss and make a satisfying drink. The illumination. See past yourself, your own desires, your own excitement, and acknowledge those failures, those mishaps, those mistakes, because those mishaps, those failures, those mistakes are not unusable if you use them in the correct way. Because we have the Queen of Pentacles watching over us. This whole process, no. It can all be good and it can all serve the kingdom. We just have to understand what goes in what place. Everything has its place. If you displace something, it's going to be disappointing. But if you look at it and really see its purpose and shift and put things in the right order in your kingdom, we have bounty, we have fruition, we have a glass of wine, not just a glass, a cask. That's gonna last us a whole lot longer. more sustainable. I feel better. I mean, I didn't not feel good coming into Taurus energy. Yes, there was just a whole lot of that bombardment of like chaos and like, I don't know what to do. I've never read tarot before in my life. I don't know how to do this. Yes, you have. Yes, you do. Take a breath. Laugh at yourself a little bit. How silly it is that you thought that you couldn't do this. Just simply put things in the proper order. Sometimes we go through really grueling processes to result in a singular cup of vinegar. Like, this is all I got for all of that? No! Because now we can take this and we can make it into something bigger and better. Right? It's a piece. It was a prologue. The moon and the ace of swords falling on top of those lovers with a looming reversed emperor over the top. That just straight up flipped the lovers upside down next to that emperor. No one can know. It is truly a choice. It is an opportunity. That was something we were tirade on before. This is the opportunity, the choice that we make. We're going to make a decision. We're going to choose a road. We're going to choose a path. It's all still hanging in the balance. The true knowledge and wisdom and understanding of these utilizations, of bringing in that counterpart, internally or externally, it all still hangs in the balance. And it all has to do with what we decide to do with what we have before us. Thank you all, and have a fantastic moon. We'll see you next time.